Caston-itis has arrived, you guys. I have put off making new projects, but I have started four new projects since the last time I podcasted, and one of them is already complete. Hi friends, welcome to another episode of the Cozy Cottage Crochet Podcast. My name is Hannah. This is a podcast all about crochet, a little bit of knitting, sometimes sewing, generally living the yarniest life possible in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I live. We have some finished objects today. We have lots of new socks. I have a project that hasn't seen the light of day in a while, and we have lots of progress and a little bit of new yarn. So I'm excited. Are you excited? Get a drink. I am drinking, I stole this from my husband, some kind of Perrier French Kiss Peach Cherry. Delicious. If you're looking for me on the interweb, you can find me as The Cozy Cottage Crochet on Instagram, and please email me with anything you need, thecozycottagecrochet@gmail.com. Now, are you ready for some new totals for what has gone out of my stash so far in 2026? I have 2 finished objects for a total of, my book is upside down, 141 grams completed since the last podcast episode. Last podcast, my total was 2,523 grams. Today, it's a Thursday. What date is today? I have no idea. Thursday, the 26th of March. So far this year, 2,664 grams out of my stash. Applause! Okay, you ready to see the finished projects? Isn't it magical? I actually blocked this last night. It has been finished for more than a week. I finished it, like Tuesday or something last week. And maybe it was before then. I don't know. I finished it a while ago, but I didn't weave in the ends and I didn't block it. And now it's blocked. It came off the blocking mat this morning. And I didn't really stretch it or pin it or anything. I simply soaked it in some wool wash. And then I laid it flat and smoothed it out. That's all I did. This yarn it came in a sample pack of yarn from Darn Good Yarn to my friend Maria, who used to have a yarn dyeing company. And we dyed this yarn together. And there were 2 50-gram balls of it. And one of them had more purple speckling and one of them had less purple speckling. I weighed it and it was actually 49 grams total between the 2 balls. So I used the one that was mostly pink for the ribbing, and I used the one with the purple speckling for the middle. This is a single ply. It's 100% superwash merino. It's a fingering weight, and it's got a halo. I think that you can see that on the camera. It is so soft, and it was soft when I was working on it. It's magical after it was blocked. This is how much I have left, which I weighed, and it was 5 grams of yarn. I think when we get down to tiny amounts, my scale has a little bit of a hard time, but because it's like a kitchen scale, a digital kitchen scale. However, I did weigh it on top of this as well, and it totaled 49 grams. This Sockhead cowl was 94 grams in weight. So that plus this is 99 grams, which is about a gram off from the total I had before. So maybe this is 4, maybe it's 4.5. I don't know. But either way, it's almost 100 grams of yarn. This is how much I have left. I will put this in my scraps for something it will be used for in the future. So 94 grams, I used as much yarn as I possibly could have. I probably could have gone just a couple rows more in the ribbing, but why? I haven't even tried it on yet. Oh, magical. I've never made a Sockhead cowl before. Literally, you just start like you do the Sockhead hat, which is one of my favorite hat patterns to make of all time. You do 4 inches of ribbing. You do stockinette forever and ever and ever, and then you do 4 inches of ribbing. I know a lot of people do not do all of the ribbing because it's a very, very tall cowl. But I did because I wanted to be able to do this. When am I ever going to do this in my life? No idea. But I may just put this on and turn into a monster and chase my children around. And I wanted to have yes, this is definitely going to be a character that I chase my children around with. And obviously you don't have to do that, right? I could just use the ribbing for this and it would stay up. If I'm ever in a cold place, which is not where I live. We had a couple of cold days this winter, but I can always roll the ribbing as well If it's really cold, put it over my face. You can also roll the ribbing on the cowl itself, and I can roll this ribbing on the bottom down to the inside, and it will be doubly warm and sit even better. See, I love that. Now it looks like a mock turtleneck kind of a thing. Oh, fabulous. I'm wearing the wrong kind of shirt because if I pull this down, it just looks ridiculous. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy. Oh, do you see this right now? You see this? This makes me really want to make like a pink sweater with a pink turtleneck. Will I wear a turtleneck? I will if it's loose enough. This is very loose. I cannot stand stuff that's choking me, but this is really not that tight. It's got a lot of room in there. And will I ever be in a place to wear a turtleneck? I don't know. But I want one. I want a pink turtleneck sweater now. This is so cute. It's so cute. I love it. And now I get to put my bag away. This bag was made by Claudia of Crochet Luna. And I need to put my needles away and my tape measure and I have my sandwich bag of notions. I'm reclaiming some stitch markers. It's just like feels so good to have this finished, and I enjoyed every stitch of this. And 94 grams added to my total out of my stash this year. And I'm just so excited to use this yarn because it was special, like Maria and I did it together, and also like it's pink, and also it's fabulous, and also I knit this entire thing following Noah around. And I don't know, I just love it. I love it so much. I really do. Shall I leave it on? I'm actually not that hot right now. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts. It is Florida. It is 80 degrees outside. And the pollen is absolutely killing me. And Noah, he is coughing. He is sneezing. He's been sneezing so much that I didn't say bless you the last time he sneezed right before I put him to bed. And he went, bless you? Yes, baby. Bless you. The second finished object I have is a pair of socks. If you missed, so the last podcast episode, I said something was coming. And then Friday last week, I posted a special video, kind of like a yarn vlog, travel vlog combo, because we went to South Carolina. We're already back. And Premier Yarns released a new non-wool sock yarn, and it's called Farmstand, and they sent me some. And I have knit an entire pair of socks. If you saw that video from last week, you will have seen how far I got on those socks. I actually finished sock number 1 and started sock number 2 while I was on the trip. And then I finished sock number 2 yesterday morning. Yesterday was a bumper yarn day. And I finished that sock. I wove in the ends and blocked this cowl. I worked a stripe, which you will see, on my Tunisian entrelac crochet shawl. I worked an inch of ribbing on a hat, and I started 2 pairs of socks all in one day. And I worked on a sweater. I never get days like that. It just happened to magically work out that my husband had the day off yesterday. It was the last day of his vacation before work. So he had Noah. Nova went to school. I worked in the morning, and part of my work was I needed to listen to something, and so I was knitting while I was doing that. I also had small group last night, so I got a solid hour at least of knitting in, and Noah took an extra long nap, so I got some yarn time in then too. It was just, and then I got home from small group last night. It was 8:30, and I didn't go to bed until 10, so that's another, I didn't even start getting ready for bed until like 9:45. That's another hour and 15 minutes of yarn time. This is so rare in my life that it's like mind-blowing to me. Like today, so far, this is the first time I have touched yarn, okay? It's not gonna be like this. I don't know when I'm gonna get another day like that, but yesterday was the reason we have multiple new projects. Anyways, I got distracted. If you don't have time to knit or crochet, like, how do you do it? How do you do it? No, I'm too hot. I'm already too hot. But I do love this so much. I think I'm just gonna like drape it over my shoulder until it falls off. It will, won't it? Something always ends up on the floor in this podcast. Anyways, Premier Yarn sent me 2 balls of 3 colors of their Farmstand yarn. And I used 1 ball and completely finished a pair of socks. It weighs 47 grams. Now, that's the wrong sock bag. I have so many socks on the go that I'm in the wrong bag. I weighed the finished socks and the yarn that I have left over, which is right here. So this is the color I made the socks in. It's Farmstand Purple Basil. This is a picture of how it knits up. This is how much yarn I have left. My scale says it's 5 grams. Again, I think that's a little iffy, could be 4, although this is a little bit denser of a yarn, certainly than that pink yarn. I'll show you a comparison, right? Because this is, what percentage acrylic? 93% acrylic and 7% PBT, which is like a nylon type of thing for strength. This is 100% superwash merino. You can see the difference in the twist, the difference in the strands, etc. But I have roughly the same amount of yarn left from each one. I weighed this ball, not before I started it, but this ball was actually a little bit heavy because if this is 5 grams and that was 47 grams, that means it was like 52 grams. So it was slightly heavier. And I got an entire pair of shorty socks out of one ball of this yarn. I will say, because I wound it off and I wanted the socks to match each other, I was so close to running out at the end. I almost had to splice this in. And I will show you, because it was definitely, I can't even tell which one it is now. That's wild. Can't tell. It was this one, because the stripe is sooner. I did not think that I had enough yarn to do the last decrease round on the toe and the Kitchener stitch. Like, I had about this much yarn, which technically probably would have been enough to knit 16 stitches and then Kitchener to them together, but I didn't think I was going to have enough length to actually Kitchener them with a needle. So what I did is I fudged it. Instead of, I normally decrease down to 8 stitches at the toe, and I was at 10 on each side. So instead of doing the last decrease round, what I did is I Kitchener decreased. Are you supposed to do that? I don't know, but I just Kitchenered the first stitch together, and then instead of doing one stitch, essentially a Kitchener is like, you're like making a knit. You can see that I kind of like messed it up right there. You're making a knit fabric, joining 2 things together. Sorry, I thought Noah was up. I think it was a bird outside or something. Don't wake up, man. Don't wake up. I decreased. So I Kitchenered 1 stitch together, and then the next 2, I did 2. Did it all the way across till there were 3 left. Kitchenered the last 2 together, and then the final one. And so I decreased. My Kitchener has 8 stitches. So technically I'm 1 row short on these, but I tried them, no problem. No problem at all. I talked in that video last week that this yarn is super soft and the stitch definition is amazing. And it is. Look at that stitch definition. And I worked really hard on this because I wanted to be able to tell you how this knits up, how it washes, and what it feels like to wear. Because as you know, most of the socks that I knit are wool based, right? I have never made a pair of acrylic socks, and I love them. I will make more. I was a little bit worried that they were gonna make my feet sweaty, although I don't know why I was worried about that, because like right now in my tennis shoes, I am wearing like black Reebok, like they're just socks. They're just like regular little socks. Those are not made of real things, right? Like they're made of synthetic fibers. I got them at Sam's Club, right? I wear them because they're soft and the seam doesn't bother me across the toe. So I was like, they don't really make my feet sweat any more than my feet sweat on a regular basis, right? So I don't think these are going to either. I finished these yesterday. I promptly put them through the washing machine. So these have already been washed, and look at how good the stitch definition still is. And I wore these to sleep in last night. I can't really put these through the paces of like wearing in shoes, because I don't typically wear my knit socks in shoes except in the wintertime, and it is no longer wintertime. But I do wear my knit socks every single night to sleep, and I will tell you, some of them make me really hot. I was not hot last night. I found that these breathed totally fine. I don't know how it would feel if I went running in them. I have no idea. But I thought the yarn was soft before. It's even softer, and it's literally like machine wash, tumble dry. That's what I did. I did not treat them specially. I put them on, I think my regular clothing cycle is like our soap and like a medium warm wash. So I washed them on medium, and then I tumble dried them, not on high, but like whatever I tumble dry our regular clothes on. It's pretty warm. They're totally fine. There is no fuzzing, there is no pilling, and they were in there with some, not towels, but like some clothes, you know, like they could have been really agitated. They look perfect. They look perfect. I I just really enjoyed them. And I expected to enjoy them because I love Premier yarns. But I have, as I said, never made a pair of socks out of non-animal fibers. And I would make more. In fact, I will. I will make more. I really enjoyed knitting it. The stitch definition is something that I just can't get over, because this is the kind of stitch definition that you would get on a cotton yarn or a bamboo yarn. And it's like, the stitches are perfect. Every time I get close to it, it kind of like blows out and makes the green less green. This is accurate. This is how green it actually is. It is a self-patterning yarn, as you can tell, and my gauge changed just a tiny bit because these look pretty similar, and then this is like, wah, wah. I don't know what happened there, but I don't mind. It goes on my feet. And I, as I said, wound off a little bit of yarn so that they would be similar. I'm not sure if my tension changed or what. It must have done something, because this is the first sock I knit, because the purple is on the bottom of the heel, and on this one it's on the top of the heel, but I think that they look similar enough that it doesn't matter. If I hold them like right on top of each other, you can see that it's like ever so slightly off. But if you hold them back here, they look like they're supposed to be together, right? So yeah, all I can say is I really loved working with this yarn. If you are a person who wants to do acrylic yarn for any reason, just because you want to try it, or because you want to make these for like a donation situation, a lot of places will not take animal fibers because they're afraid they're going to shrink or felt, or people are going to have allergies or sensitivities to them. And someone had commented last week when I posted that video and was like, if these hold up, this is going to be a great option, acrylic yarn for donation. And I could not agree more. I could not agree more. I will keep you updated as to how these hold up as they get washed and washed repeatedly. But like, I am happy with these. I am so happy with them, and I will be wearing them again tonight. So this is my two finished objects. These 47 grams, this 94 grams, for a total of 141 grams out of my stash since the last podcast episode. 2,664 grams. It's my little notebook that I'm keeping track of everything in. And by keeping track, I mean I'm literally just writing what I did, like purple basil socks, 47 grams. That's it. That's all I'm writing. And then how much, like every time I podcast, I write the date and what the total is. That's all I'm doing, because if it's any more, it's not going to happen. So yeah, these are my, I'm so excited. So this is the purple basil colorway. I can't believe I got an entire pair of shorty socks out of one 50-gram ball of yarn. I did not even touch this second one. I didn't touch it, you guys. So probably what I will do is save this ball for a giveaway, because that would be delightful. And it's an untouched ball, right? Look. The other colorway, sorry for the crinkling, is, I haven't touched these. I'll probably make a pair of socks out of these too. It's tomato. That's what it looks like. So I have three colorways: purple basil, tomato, and then carrot is already in another project that I will show you. That has gotten a little bit of work as well. Theoretically, I should be able to get another entire pair of shorty socks out of 50 grams of this. And it is very crumply and rumply, but these are all the colors that they have. This is tomato. This is purple basil. There's one that's a purple onion. I almost bought that, but I restrained myself. This is cucumber. If you watch Jen from Cinnamon Stitches, she got the cucumber colorway, and she made a pair of crochet shorty socks. I can't talk. Crochet shorty socks, and she calls them her pickle socks. And yeah, they're so cute. They're so cute, Jen. And then carrot I have, which I will show you. Eggplant, if you like neutrals, that will be for you. Y'all know I don't love neutrals, but pink is my neutral, okay? And then they have pumpkin as well. So I will leave a link to the new yarns page from Premier down below. I am really happy with it. Not just saying that, I'm giving you my honest opinion of this yarn. If I did not enjoy working with it, I would not have knit an entire pair of socks in a week. Granted, I was traveling, so I had more yarn time, but like, it's so good. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. Not in general, just about these socks. Because these socks are finished, I have started 2 new pairs of socks, which I will show you just briefly because they are like barely cast on, and then we will go on to the carrot yarn, which is a crochet project. So last night, I finally cast on the socks from, I'm making a pair of socks out of the main skein of my advent calendar that I got from last year. This is a sparkly yarn, and I pulled a random mini out of my stash. I want to say this is maybe a homespun house from an advent a really long time ago, but I don't actually know that to be true. And pretty much most of my minis have come from my advent calendars, and so they're not labeled because I'll just put them all in a bucket at the end, and they generally don't have names or anything on them when they're in an advent calendar, so I don't know where any of them come from. But I do know that it's like 75-25 merino nylon and that this was sparkly, so I thought this would be a perfect contrast toes, heels, and cuffs. I have done the cast on and 2 rounds. That's all I've done. The yarn, the main skein is knotted by Niche, and it is the colorway Electric Wonderland. She is a UK-based dyer. That's where I got my advent calendar last year. As I said, this is the main skein. All of the minis are going to be worked into the Radvent cardigan at some point. Not at some point. When I am done with my V-neck boxy, then I will start my Radvent cardigan. I don't want 2 fingering weight knit sweaters on the needles at the same time. That seems a bit much to me. So yes, that has been started. So happy about that. The second pair of socks that I started, I think I said last time that I had ordered 1 ball of Knit Picks Felici in the colorway Lisa, which is like a Lisa Frank-inspired color, because I just was obsessed with it. And I also needed a dots crochet hook. And so I got it. I got it in the mail. This is also incoming. The only incoming yarn I've had is the Premier yarns and this 1 ball of Felici. And I started this last night. Again, just a cast on and 2 rounds. That's all I have done so far. Although that looks kind of like it's 3 rounds, but it's not. It's not. I love Felici yarn. It's so soft. It's so soft. I think I only have 1 pair of Felici socks in my drawer right now because I've made many over the years. What I really need to do, isn't this? I will say this about Felici. It's a 75-25 merino nylon blend. I'm almost positive. Let's check my work, shall we? 218 yards, 50 grams, 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, machine wash cold, tumble dry, low. This yarn is so soft. I have a couple of balls in my stash that I'm like, ugh, they release colors and then they go away and then they never come back. So if you want a color of Felici of Knit Picks, you have to like buy it while it's there. It does seem to me that no matter how beautiful and magical the colorway is, they always put in 1 drab color. Like, what is this? I don't need gold. Like, this should be like some kind of electric color, right? But they always like tone it down just slightly, which I don't love, but I just love this color so much. And it's gonna make magical socks. I have weighed this ball. Did I write down how much it weighed? I wanna say the ball was like 49 grams, which maybe it is because I did the cast on already. I don't think that I'm going to get an entire pair of shorty socks out of this 1 ball of Felici and no other yarn because I want them to match with the stripes, and the stripes are about 6 rounds each, or maybe longer. It's been a while since I've knit with Felici, but I'm gonna have to wind some off to make these match. So either I just knit the entire sock and I let go of the striping sequence. That's not who I am. Or what I'm actually planning to do is to go into my scraps, minis. I'm gonna find something that coordinates with this and either put it in for the heel or for the toe. And if I do that for both of them, there should be plenty of yarn to knit 2 socks. And my standard sock recipe at the moment, this could always change, is I cast on 64 stitches on 2.25 millimeter needles, not 3.25 millimeter needles like I knit an entire cuff with last week. I was like, why is this so open and loose? Because I'm using the wrong needle size. I do 15 rounds of 2x2 ribbing, and I do 20 rounds at the moment of stockinette, fish lips kiss heel, knit until I reach size 8, because I am a size US 8, on my sock ruler, which is my favorite knitting notion of all time. I have one of these in each of my sock bags, and I have an extra just in case I ever need it. It has a ruler on the other side. This is always linked below, you guys. Always. Ah! It's a slap bracelet. Okay? It's always linked below because I love it so much. It's from Twice Your Cheap. I think it's one of the best things they've ever created. You can put this in your heel and like it has kid sizes, women's sizes, and men's sizes in the US. I'm sure in the UK there's like different examples of these somewhere. I love this so much. I use it every single time I make a pair of socks, probably 17 times because I'm like, am I at 8 yet? Am I at 8 yet? And 8 is up here. And I'm normally down here when I start measuring, and then it just slowly grows. So then I do a rounded toe, and that's it. I just want to make like a scarf in this. It's so soft. It's so soft, you guys. So it's the 2 new pairs of socks. As I said, barely even cast on. But they are cast on, which means now I can have them as projects to follow Noah around. And I always need projects like that. Oh, I know what I was going to say about my socks. If you've been around a while, you know that after Noah came out, like my feet are a different shape, much like the rest of my body. I am not a different size, like I wear the same shoe size, but my feet are a different shape. And so some of the socks that I made, most of the socks that I made before having Noah don't fit me, or they don't fit the way that I like them. I find them uncomfortable, or they're like pulling in the heel when they weren't before. And like, I don't know what that is. Every time I open my sock drawer, I have the socks that I continually reach for over and over. And then I have all the ones that I'm just like, oh, I know this isn't going to be comfortable, so I don't reach for them. I actually need to go through my sock drawer, pull out every pair of socks. I'm sure there's a lot in there, even though I've gifted, I've gotten rid of, I've sold a few pair over the years. I need to pull them all out. There's at least 20 pairs in there, probably more. And I need to try them all on. I need to put them on my feet. And the ones that I wear all the time, like I'm not going to try these on because I know they fit perfectly. But I need to try them all on and take out the ones that I don't want to wear and look at them. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Should I sell them? Should I make something out of them? Should I steep the socks and make like a little patchwork sock quilt? I don't know. Maybe that'll be an extra random video sometime where you can come visit with me and we go through my sock drawer. Anyways, let's talk crochet. I did start a freehand tank top in the colorway Carrot, which is the acrylic sock yarn that Premier sent me. This is ball number 2. I have not touched it yet, other than take the label off. I actually ordered one more ball of this because I don't think I'm gonna get an entire tank top out of 100 grams, the way that I'm making it. I finally placed my yarn order. Y'all remember when the Premier neon yarn, acrylic yarn came out and I was like, I need this right now. But I had to wait, 1, until the YouTube money came in, 2, until I mailed all of the prizes for whip school, 3, until I bought something that needed to be bought for the channel, like a piece of equipment that had broken. And then when I knew I was getting this and I was gonna make a tank top with it, I was like, let me just see if I need another ball before I get it. So I ordered it. It's on the way to me, but it's not here yet. I have one more ball of this coming, and I think 2 balls of hot pink, 2 balls of neon yellow, and 1 ball of neon purple. I want to make Nova a neon pink and purple little sweater. Tangent. I'm off on a lot of tangents today. Is that what you're here for? This is the yarn label. Same content, 93% acrylic, 10% or 7% PBT. That's the colorway Carrot. It's super duper orange, and I love me a bright color. I have worked almost an entire ball, almost 50 grams. This is how much I have left. And this is what it looks like. There's no pattern for this. I'm making this up as I go. I'm just freehanding it. What I did, I think the last time, you didn't see this last podcast episode, but in the video that I talked about, I essentially made 2 triangles by starting up here and just increasing. And then I chained across. I measured how much bust I would need at the top. I basically want the straps to start where the little clippy on my bra strap is. So that's my measurement. They're roughly the same height on all of my bras. I wear the same bra, not literally the same bra, but the same type of bra every single day. So I want this triangle to start here. That is what I'm comfy with. And I want the rest of it to go down. Now, let me get up a little bit so you can see. This is all in single crochet, except I did a little V in some front post double crochets just to give that a little texture. I thought it was gonna look weird to just have a straight line across there. I could have kept increasing, but that would have put the V down here. And I don't care if you wear a V down there, and maybe sometime I will, but not when I'm chasing my kids, which is probably when I'm gonna be wearing this tank top. Then, based on the gauge here, I estimated how much I would need to chain for the back. I did that, and I started working back and forth in turned rows. This is my seam. You can see it a little bit, but I think because of the tonality of the yarn, you really can't notice. Also, it's gonna be under my arm. This is how long I chained originally. And after a little bit, I decided that was too long. It was about an inch and a half, 2 inches too long. So I just stopped working that far. I was only like 2-3 rows in. When I am done with this tank top, what I'm going to do is sew this up and cut this little tail off. That's all I'm going to do. Let me see if I can. It's going to look ridiculous to put it on over my shirt, but I kind of want to give you a glimpse of what it actually is going to look like. I'm really happy with the fit so far. I'm glad that I took that inch off on the side because I think it would have been a little too loose. Like it would have been dragging or gaping in the back and I would have had to add elastic or something, whereas right now I don't. My original estimate was that I would need to make 7 inches from here to here to get under my bust. I think that I'm at about 7 inches right now and I'm not under my bust. I could steam block this and stretch it a little bit, and I may do that, but I'm at least going to get to 8 inches. I'm kind of over the single crochets at the moment, but I don't really want to kill the acrylic. If you don't know what kill the acrylic means, if you steam, not iron, okay, acrylic is made of plastic, so don't iron it, it will melt. If you steam this with hot steam, any kind of acrylic yarn, it will kind of grow and expand, and it will stay that way forever. It's called killing the acrylic, because you have essentially heat set it. Doing this in the dryer does not really do it. It's not hot enough. The steam has to be hotter than that. I don't think that I want to kill this acrylic. It's really good on like a lace project if you make with acrylic yarn. Kill your acrylic. It's going to be magical, okay? Just don't stretch it so far because it won't go back. But my plan is to keep going, get to about here, which honestly, that could be an inch and a half. I have a really long torso. Like, this is where my belly button is. Like, this is a lot of torso. This is why I have problems with shirts. I have a blue tank top that I got at Walmart for a couple dollars, and it's a scoop neck, and it looks so good, but it stops here, like at my belly button, which is the weirdest, most awkward place, especially because I have a baby, and so it hits me like right in the belly, and none of my pants look good with it at all, so I can only wear it under stuff. I need this. It's going to have to be long. That is another reason that I ordered another ball. Anyways, my plan to get to about here, then I'm going to do a round or two maybe of star stitches to kind of create a waistband, probably right here. I don't want it right up under my bust, like right here is where I want it. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the tank top. This is how it looks in the back. I will, at the very end, I will go around probably in single crochet and add a border, and then I will make straps somehow. But it's really soft. I'm really looking forward to wear it. I think I would be able to wear it. I need more tank tops in my life. I recently, since Noah has been born, have been coming around to tank tops. I always enjoyed looking at tank tops and I always wanted to wear them, but I just never felt comfortable wearing them, and it wasn't a body issue for me. I just wasn't hot enough. Like, I would always be cold, and so I'd always be putting something on, and like it was just like a waste of time to me. But since Noah has come out of my body, I'm like boiling hot at all times, pretty much. So I have been wearing a lot of tank tops, and most of them are a couple of dollars from Walmart. They're not like high quality, okay? But this, I want to make some tank tops that I can wear, and I love this color. Like, looking at this color makes me happy. It makes my soul happy. I love that I made this myself. I love that I just like came up with this out of my brain, and I am not feeling the pressure to like write a pattern or make like turn this into some kind of work. I'm just enjoying it, and I love it. I love the yarn. I love the project. I'm happy. I'm so happy with it. So yeah, hopefully next time you see this, we'll have a significant amount of progress, or at least be past the bust and then the star stitches. I would like to, after I'm done with the star stitches, start working in the round, I think, because that would just be easier than working in turned rounds. So the stitch pattern is for sure going to change. I'm just not sure what it's going to change to. I don't want it to be something with a lot of texture. So I want the star stitch to be like a focus. I could maybe do linen stitch or half double crochets, or just something that is less dense, because I don't want it to be as dense. I need this to be a dense fabric on top of my bust. But on top of the rest of me, let's take a drink, shall we? On top of the rest of me, I don't need it to be that dense of a fabric. So it doesn't, I don't want to do double crochets, I don't think, but we'll see. We'll see. I might have to do a little bit of swatchy swatch while I'm doing that. So yeah, those are my projects in the Premier Farmstand yarn. I freaking love it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I expected to have something bad. I expected to be like, it's really great, except I just like it. It's really great. If they had more tonals in that yarn, I would buy it and make lots of things with it. Yes, I would. Let's talk about more projects. Okay, I showed you this last time. It was just cast on, much like my socks are. I actually knit this yesterday, right before Noah woke up. It's just a little bit of ribbing. How many is that? 4 or 5 rounds? Yeah, I knit 5 rounds on this yesterday. This yarn is so magical, but I'm not going to show you the hat. This is just the classic cuffed hat by Pro Soho. I cast this on as a project to follow Noah around, and I need to work on that coming up because I am getting fairly close to the point where I'm going to need the rest of that yarn for the crochet project. So I made the playful shawl, the garter stitch knit shawl, in this yarn. It is Murky Depths Dyeworks in the colorway Tintype. It is Triton MCN Merino Cashmere Nylon, and I had 5 skeins of this from my friend Amanda. And so I made a knit shawl in it. I used 2 full skeins. Now I'm making a crochet shawl in the same shape as the knit shawl. I'm going to use 2 full skeins. I'm making a hat, and then whatever's left from the hat I'm going to put into the crochet shawl. So the last time you saw this, I had just started it. I went to South Carolina with 1 ball attached to this, and I worked the rest of that ball, which left off right here. And actually, on the way home, because I didn't wind this up beforehand, I was like, there's literally no way I'm going to get through this yarn. There's no reason for me to get my yarn winder out and cake this up before we leave. I had to hand wind this in the car on the way home from South Carolina. That is why it is in a beautiful ball. So I hand wound it and I kept going. Where was I last time? I had only done this much. So this project has seen a lot of work. It is all roly-poly and curly. I need to give it a good block, but I want to keep working on it first. So where this mouse is where I was last time. And I have done all of this. And now you can really see that it's biasing, that it's on the bias. When at the beginning, it's really hard to tell. At some point, I need, last time I was like, this is going to block out. It's going to be totally fine. And I am still 98% sure that that's going to happen without a border. But I do need to, now I'm like doubting myself. There's 2% of my brain that's like, will it though? Are you going to have to add a border? But I should have enough to do that with the leftover yarn from the hat over there. Once that's done. Essentially, I'm working half double crochets and then half double crochets in the 3rd loop, which gives it that amazing texture. I just love it. I love everything about it. It's going to be giant and magical and like a shallow asymmetrical shawl, just like the knit shawl that I made. There's no pattern for this. I'm just making it up. I am going to block this before I finish it to make sure that it lays flat. If I need to add a border, I will. But then once I figured that out, I will do my best to make a tutorial so that you guys can make this too. I'm not going to write like an official pattern for this, but yeah, it's just so pretty. It's so pretty. I think this is the way I'm working it actually. But then when you wear it, you would flip it the other way. It's so pretty. I love it so much. It's had so much love. And it's just, the yarn is smooth and plump and squishy. The hook is a 4.5 millimeter. It just flies, and I enjoy every stitch of this. Every stitch I have enjoyed. So that's going to get some love coming up, and I do need to work on that hat. Probably before I work on any socks, I need to work on that hat so that I know how much yarn I have left to put into that crochet shawl. Now, there's 2 more projects. Don't you think we've talked about enough projects so far? I've been talking for like 70 hours. It's really only been 39 minutes, but that's long enough, don't you think? No, it's not, because I have another knitting project, and we have got to talk about the Tunisian Beast. This is the landscape shawl. It is a pattern by Martin Up North. It is a Tunisian entrelac, what's the word? It's not asymmetrical. It's like a mind-bendy shawl. Like, I don't know. I've talked at length about this, about how it hurts my brain and I don't understand it. That's what his looks like. So this is what I mean. Like it does this. That's wild. That's wild that you can do that. I have put some work into this. I am officially on color H. Yes, IJK. Yeah, I have 3 more colors that are not yet in the shawl. And I just finished last night row 20. And I believe that I have 25 more rows to do. And of course, every row is getting bigger. So these are taking longer and longer. This is where we are. So last time I was here, so I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, which is pretty good considering we were gone in South Carolina for 6 days. I still have made this a priority. I'm still going to keep trying to make this a priority. The next colors that are going to be in this is color H. It's like a purple. And then there's going to be a gray, I think, H. This is J, this is a maroon. So there must be a gray somewhere. There's gotta be. I don't know where it went. Here it is. No, that's B. I have no idea. I have all of these colors. Maybe there's not a gray. Maybe it goes purple. H, J, H, I. I'm missing an I. Is there 4 more colors? There's red, maroon, red, purple. But I am missing, I'm not missing it, okay? It's just in this bag. This giant. Oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. This is color H. As you can see, it has an H. This is color I, which looks like an H if you hold it this way. So I was right all along. Okay, so we have a purple, a maroon, and a red. Those are the colors that are going to go in it. And then it's going to go back the other direction, I believe. The only color that I don't love in this shawl is this. And there is no way to change this without ripping out all of this work, which I am not about to do, but I really don't like it there. I don't know if it's too light or too something. I don't know. In the skein, I thought that it would look so good next to this green, and I don't know, I don't love it. I don't love it, but we're gonna persevere. We're gonna keep going. We have 3 more colors to add and a lot more work to do on this shawl, but I am very slowly plugging away at it, and I am happy with the progress. What the heck am I gonna do with it when it's done? I have no idea, because wearing something with that many colors is probably not my vibe, but maybe it will be. Who knows? Who knows? The last project I have only worked on one time, but it was last night, and I took it to small group with me, and it has not seen the light of day in a while, and I got a solid inch done on this, and it is my V-neck boxy. Oh my God, every time I pull this out, I'm just like, ah. I really want to give this some love, because I am at, I think, 8 inches on the body. So I'm halfway through. I think I need to knit 16 something inches from the underarm, and I'm at about 8 at the moment, maybe 8.5. This is where I was last night when I picked this up. And so I knit all of that during small group, which that doesn't maybe seem like a lot, but there is a ton of stitches on these needles. I am a little concerned that at the end, this is going to be too big, because I started this a couple of years ago and it is a size that I used to be, but I'm not currently. I could put this on barber cord, try it on tubing, and try it on, but I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I honestly think it'll be fine. I hope it'll be fine. I just think it is like the most magical yarn I've ever seen. It's the colorway Peacocks from Fiber Optics. I got this yarn at Rhinebeck in 2022. That sounds right. And I got it specifically for this project. So I started this, did I start this before Noah was born? I think I must have. And it just really has not gotten a ton of love since then. But yeah, I really want to give this some love because it's fabulous. I have 5 skeins of that yarn. It is a merino cashmere nylon as well. I just love a yarn that has a hint of cashmere in it. It's just so magical. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff I've worked on. Granted, we did go to South Carolina. So I was not crocheting and knitting the entire time, but we had like a 9-hour drive there and a 9-hour drive back. I also followed Noah around for one entire afternoon and knit half, probably from here to here on a sock. At that time, I had some yarn time at night a couple of times. And yeah, it was a lovely trip. The kids got to see their cousin, which was wonderful. They got to see their grandparents and my sister-in-law. We went to the zoo. Noah got to feed some, what are they called? Lorikeets. He got to hold like a little cup of nectar, and I was like behind him. I don't have any pictures because I was helping him and it was just me. I had my arms around him to make sure that his arms stayed out, and 2 birds landed on him and they drank the little nectar, and his face, like I have his face burned into my memory forever because it was the sweetest. He was like all cheeks and he was just like amazed, and he was like, it was so cute. What else? They got to pet some goats. That was fun. Nova went to the steeplechase. We ate ice cream almost every single day, twice to avoid a meltdown, which I do not regret. We ate all kinds of nonsense. We got almost 0 sleep the entire time we were there. I think Noah took like 1.5 naps total. And on the way home, we left at 6 a.m. Monday. We got home around 3:30. He fell asleep in the car 10 minutes before we got home. That night, I want to say all 4 of us were in bed asleep at like 7:30. Like we were just wiped. But it was a really, really nice trip. And I'm really happy we went. I wish we could have stayed longer. The weather was beautiful. What else? I mean, what else did we do? I don't even remember. We went to some parks. We had some delicious food. We did all kinds of stuff. We had a lot of ice cream. I got to see a real life YouTuber in the wild. Lynn of Daybreak Knots and Knits lives near Aiken, South Carolina. And we discovered this the last time I was there, which was over a year ago, because I was vlogging, and one of the vlogs she was like, I know what park that is. And I was like, yes. That park happened to be closed, so we went to a different park, but I got to meet up with her for a couple of hours, and Noah did his normal outdoor cat self stuff on the playground, and then he got a boo-boo, so we had to handle that. And then he took his diggers and we walked around downtown and he scooped some dirt, and then we spent, I don't know, 20 minutes by a row of trash cans where he found some cardboard pieces and he decided what trash can he should put them in. Literally 20 minutes. When I tell you I need a knitting project just for following Noah around, that is the reason why. Because we could stop and spend 20 minutes next to a row of trash cans. But I got to hang out with Lynn that whole time, and I wish we could have hung out longer, but she had some like digging to do on her property and stump clearing, etc. And Noah had to take a nap because he had not taken one up to that point of the trip. And so I had to go back to the hotel. But I wanted to stay longer because it was so fun. It was just like talking to an old friend. It was delightful. I feel like I was so tired. That was Saturday. So at that point, I had already not slept for 3 nights. And Noah had not slept for 3 nights and not taken a nap. So I feel like I was not as cheery and delightful as I wanted to be. But it was still just so fun. It was so fun hanging out with you, Lynn. That was like one of the highlights of my trip, that I got to see you in real life. Next time we make it up there, hopefully we can get together again. And yeah, Noah loved hanging out with you too. When we left, he was like, where'd Miss Lynn go? I'm like, well, she went back to her house. And he went, oh. Yeah, well, our house is kind of far from here. So that's all that's happened. We've been home for a couple of days. We've been cleaning and doing laundry, and I vacuumed and mopped the floor this morning because it's not like we don't do that all the time, but like kids are dirty. They're so dirty. The house was so clean when it was just Josiah and I. And now Now I deeply understand why kids have to help with chores. Yes, we need them to be like appropriate grown-up people at some point who know how to do things. But also like 87% of the mess is theirs. Like the dirt that gets brought into the house is theirs. The toys on the floor, the pillows on the floor, the laundry, it's theirs. The dishes, I could eat off of one plate all day. I'll just wash it and use the same one. They use like 17 everything. It's theirs. This is why they have to do chores, because it's their mess. Anyways, that was a tangent. I'm full of tangents today. Maybe this whole podcast episode should be titled Full of Tangents. Probably it's going to be titled The Caston-itis Has Started, because it has. I almost pulled out my Premier Chunky Basics yarn last night that I'm going to make a corner-to-corner blanket out of. But it was in my husband's office, and I just didn't have the energy to get off the couch. I almost started that project last night. Instead, I started 2 new pairs of socks because the yarn was already sitting in front of me. But yes, that will probably be started next time you see me as well, because I want to work on it. I'm a little afraid that once I start that project, it's going to be the only thing I want to work on. But so what if it is? How about do what brings you joy? That's what people say. That's a thing people say. Do what brings you joy. Yeah. How about give, what is it? For Rachel, from Rachel is Knitting. She's like made it her goal this year. She's like to give less flip-flapping parts about her knitting. Like, why? Why do we have to have all these arbitrary rules? Yes, I would like to work on my Tunisian entrelac thing. But am I going to crochet that blanket? Yes. Yes, I am. I want to, so that I can then start my blanket in wool-like. That is still in the back of my mind percolating as well. So anyways, the dam has broken. Since January, I have been like, listen, I am just working on my whips. I am being a good crocheter. I am just making progress. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm taking advantage of it while I can because I want to get some things finished, and get things finished I have. Okay, 2,600 something grams of things have been finished. But now, it is time to start. It is time to begin, like, I don't know, approximately 117 projects. Maybe that's a large estimate, but like at least a couple. I have started 4 since the last time you saw me and completed 1. That's crazy. Anyways, I've said anyways entirely too much this episode. So if that offends you, well, I don't know. You probably are here for the wrong reasons because I say that a lot. I just am so happy that you're here. I'm so happy to be with you again. Thank you to everyone who watched last week's video. I really do highly recommend this yarn. I really love it. I can't wait for my 3rd ball of carrot yarn to come in the mail so that I'm going to continue working on my tank top as is because I have a whole 50 grams untouched, but like, I'm really excited. Oh, that's another thing I'm going to cast on. I'm just going to say cast on for start projects because crochet doesn't have like a cast on language. You just say start, and that's boring. Okay. I want to make a little sweater for Nova. So when that yarn comes, I'm probably going to have to start that too. I'm going to have to. It would be a crime not to. So if you have been, just floating on cloud 9 about how wonderful you are in keeping your whips under control, I just am now at the point where I'm going to give you permission to start all the things. Start all the things. Start them. You know you want to. If you don't want to, by all means, keep taking advantage of that energy because it doesn't come around very often. But if you, like me, are feeling, maybe it's the spring, maybe it's the fact that giant cardigan got done last time, I don't know. Something has changed, and now it is time to start new projects. I will see you in 2 weeks. Maybe we can get a sock video done. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's the last thing you finished. What are you working on finishing? What are you excited about starting? Have you tried this yarn? Have you ordered this yarn? Click the link below and order some. Like, not if you don't have money to add yarn to your stash, but like, I really enjoyed working with this yarn. And I enjoyed sleeping in those socks last night. And I'm going to sleep in them again tonight. So highly recommend. Until I see you again, happy crafting. Be kind to yourself. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, friends.